internet fam. I had to do that thing. It's trending fam, so I had to join the trend. Okay, it's me, Sugar, back at it with another video for you guys today. And the reason I'm doing a video about menses, periods, is because we're not taught these things. I feel like a lot of well, a lot of the education does not focus on this essential part of life. Like girls don't know these things. Many girls grow up never knowing these things. Eventually they have sterility problems and all that, and they don't know where it came from. They don't know what happened. They don't know how they would have avoided it. So today's video is basically girl talk, and it's going to be bloody everywhere and scientific everywhere, but don't be afraid. if i had to if I understood this thing, trust me, you can. So, more than everything, share this video to many girls because I believe that they need to know these things. Like, these things are so, like they say in Kiswahili, they're so chinyamaji. Like, people don't talk about it as much as it should, as in it's not as relevant as it should be. Meanwhile, it is so relevant. So yes, stay till the end of the video to understand all this relevance I'm talking about. And trust me, it's going to be worth it. Like this video, even me, the way I got educated, I was like, wow, woo, we go through stuff, man. So yes, meanwhile, ignore my dry hair. I know I'm already showing people ignore my dry hair. So let's just get right into this video. Well, disclaimer, okay? I I'm not a doctor, so I may not give accurate explanations in this video. So I'm really going to like go through things real quick. So check the links in the description box, guys, so that you guys can actually understand these things for yourself. I'm just out here bringing the information to you, but check it for yourself. And so basically let's start. And first of all, many girls don't know that painful periods is actually a thing. You know that girls don't actually go through cramps, okay? That these girls are like, how do y'all have cramps? How is it painful? I cannot relate. Yes, that is real because not everyone goes through this thing. And so others who don't, those who go through it, go through a condition called dysmenorrhea. And dysmenorrhea is basically it is caused by the lining. Well, first of all, I'm going to warn you guys, like I said it earlier, but it's not very accurate. But yes, I'm going to explain this to you. Basically, when the uterus is shedding the blood, and if you want to know what happens all before the uterus is shedding blood, check in the description box. But when the uterus is shedding the blood, the uterus lining produces a hormone or a chemical known as prostaglandin, and prostaglandin helps to basically strengthen the contractions that happens when the uterus is releasing blood. Because when the uterus is releasing blood, contractions are going in. That's the contractions that are, things like that. So that chemical that is secreted to help strengthen this thing actually has side effects on us now, and so it's those side effects that causes the condition known as dysmenorrhea. So the side effects are things like you begin to feel like nausea, lightheadedness, diarrhea, and all that. And so not every girl goes through this pain, by the way, but it's normal. And the thing about dysmenorrhea is that there are two types of dysmenorrhea. So there is primary dysmenorrhea, where this happens slightly before. It's a pain you feel slightly before your periods come and then during your periods, and this is absolutely normal. Any anti-inflammatory basically can help you deal with this. It's the normal pain and the normal usually people who have primary dysmenorrhea primary dysmenorrhea, yeah, those who go through it, generally it came right from the beginning of the period. When they started experiencing periods and menses, they normally had painful periods, and so for them it's a normal thing. It's not cause for concern, if that makes sense. Normally not any drug, but anti-inflammatory drugs should help them. Normally there's a way they describe this drug over-the-counter drugs, yes, if I'm not mistaken, should come through for them. And yeah, it's just normal like nausea, pains in the abdomen, and headaches. Normally, you should be able to carry on with your day. And then secondary dysmenorrhea now is the one that is actually a call for concern, and it's usually caused by infectious diseases down there, in the uterus and those places down there basically. And usually we don't know about these things, and it happens when usually people who experience secondary dysmenorrhea when not having like as painful periods. Okay, the periods are like normal or slightly less painful, and you should know that this periodic pain, basically, that's what dysmenorrhea is difficult for. So this periodic pain, it really varies in different people. So that people with normal primary dysmenorrhea, but it looks like secondary dysmenorrhea is because for them it's like an extreme. But then there are people with like very light, and then there are those guys who don't even experience primary dysmenorrhea. But now for secondary dysmenorrhea, you've been going through normal periodic pain, or you've not even been going through periodic pain at all, and then one day, whoosh, you start having like, it's very, very painful. So that in itself is a call for concern, and it's usually caused by infectious diseases in the uterus. I said this already. And that one now, it's actually more painful. You realize that you cannot have you cannot, usually you stay home, you just stay home, or you cannot do the things you normally do for 2 days, because you have like very bad headaches, like it's so painful, you cannot walk and all those things. And that when you have those types of experience, those types, you should actually see a doctor, because it may not be normal. As I was saying, it may look like it's secondary, but it may also not be secondary, but see a doctor to confirm. I'm just going to go through the causes of painful cramps. So that includes both primary dysmenorrhea and secondary dysmenorrhea altogether. So mostly primary dysmenorrhea, we'll start with things like generally if you're just under 20, and also because your periods are still trying to be regular, you'll go through you'll have painful cramps. So it's normal, but it's not crazy. Then it's also genetic. If you have like a genetic background with painful cramps, you're going to go through painful cramps. Like in your family they have it. If you are a smoker, you're going to experience painful cramps. I don't know how true this is, and I don't know on what, like I don't know. It's basically research, but smoking affects your cramping. If you're a heavy bleeder, like for example, I have a friend, she bleeds for almost close to 7 days, so losing blood from your body, fam, it's very normal. You have headaches and all that, okay? So that will also cause painful cramps. So as I earlier on said, irregular periods, because your body is trying to balance and get it, so that just causes painful cramps as well. And then you have not yet given, but if you have not yet given birth, your probability to have painful cramps are higher. Does that make sense? And when your puberty came very early, so girls who experience puberty from ages like 10, 11, they usually have painful cramps. So these are all, especially these causes fall under like primary dysmenorrhea, that word, yes. And then there's something also known as premenstrual syndrome. Premenstrual syndrome is where hormones are released in your body 2 weeks before your period. I think it helps your body prepare for periods or something like that. And these hormones basically affect you. So that causes painful periods. Don't ask me how, but that's what I read. And so that's why you see us going through like mood swings and many other things, because of these hormones that are released like 1 or 2 weeks before your period. So they affect your period, they affect you during your period. And then now there are now the causes for especially secondary dysmenorrhea, and these are the infectious diseases I was basically talking about that affect you. So it's just not the normal pain by the by that hormone that I mentioned about earlier on, that is very difficult for me to cope. But it's also due to these other things, and one of them is endometriosis. Now let me tell you guys, the reason I actually made this video was because I go through very painful periods. My periods are like they're like so horrible, and they were not like this before. For a moment I thought it was because I had traveled, I left from like my country and then came back to another country, and so that change in like weather, and so I thought it was just that month. But then I realized, when I thought about it, it had actually started when I was back home. So but then I've been ignoring it. I'm like, okay, it's like I'm a girl, it happens, it should be normal. But this has gone on for so long, and then I realized it got to a point, like if I don't take drugs, fine, you're not going to see your girl on the floor. Like she'll collapse, okay. Like if I don't take anything that will, like painkillers basically, and I cannot function. Even when I take the painkillers, they don't take my pain away, they just reduce the pain. So now it comes to like the normal, it's not even the normal pain, because I still cannot do anything, or basically just lie down in bed, or I'm not making sense, like I'm not focusing anywhere I am, and this happened to me for like 2 to 3 days. So because of that, I was like, hey, let me actually check, let me actually understand why I feel this way, you know what I'm saying. That is how I discovered all these things, and the first thing that caught my attention was endometriosis. And this is something that many women go through, and they don't know that they actually go through all that. So I think, let me read all, let me say all, then I'm going to like read the causes, like I'm going to like explain what all of these things are. So there's endometriosis, that's a cause of painful secondary dysmenorrhea. Yes. There is uterine fibroids, there is pelvic inflammatory diseases, adenomyosis, and cervical steroids. So yeah, let me now explain what all of these things are. I'm not a doctor, and I don't even understand to a level where I can explain to you like I really know what's happening down there, but I've understood for myself. So basically I'm just going to like read what these things are, and then you're like, just so you know that okay, like for real, it's real, and you go and check it. So endometriosis is a painful medical condition where cell from the from the lining of the uterus grows in another part of your body, like the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, and the tissues lining the pelvis. So what I actually understood about endometriosis is that these cells are supposed to grow only in the uterus, there goes to other parts of the body. So these cells also they also secrete that hormone that helps, that makes you feel the pain basically. And naturally, with that sense, you're going to feel a lot more pain than the usual. And then from what I understood is that endometriosis, like I read a lot more, endometriosis goes into like, there's like slightly painful, there's like mild, there's like severe, and then there's like very severe endometriosis where they actually have to you have to go through a surgical operation to actually deal with the situation. So fam, even me, I'm so scared right now. I'm like, doctor, where are you? We are coming. Then there are fibroids in the uterus. So uterine fibroid is a non-cancerous tumor. So it doesn't multiply so much if it's non-cancerous, if I understand very much. That can put pressure on the uterus or cause abnormal menstrual pain. So basically it's a tumor in the uterus. That is horrible enough, like I don't even need to understand more. Then there is pelvic inflammatory diseases, an infection of the uterus, fallopian tubes or ovary, often caused by sexually transmitted bacteria, causing inflammations of the reproductive organs. So here I feel like I've been doing a lot of presentations in school, so I know how to do this thing already. Basically here, the bacteria spread to your sexual organs, and it's not the normal bacteria. So it causes you pain because it is foreign. It's foreign. How do you call it? It's foreign cells in that part of the body, so the body is basically reacting to it. And then there's adenomyosis, where the uterine lining grows into a muscular wall of the uterus and can be painful because it causes inflammations and pressure. So it's basically like a whole other thing happening. Fam, this thing scare me. So you all should check yourselves out. And the last one, cervical stenosis, a rare condition in which as the cervix is so small, it slows menstrual flow, causes an increase of pressure inside the uterus that causes pain. So I don't even understand if that is horrible or not horrible, or it's a call for concern or not. But yes, those are now secondary, secondary dysmenorrhea. Oh, this word. Anyway, so definitely, especially primary dysmenorrhea, there are like normal home treatments that you can do. I mean, as a girl, we figure out these things. Okay, we know these things. So some of them is just basically the most common one that everybody knows is using a heating pad on either like your pelvic area or like your back area, putting a heating pad there. I don't know what it does, but y'all can testify this thing works, that it actually works. Massaging your abdomen, this is where people are out here stressing their boyfriends. I'll not say anything, but yes, massaging your abdomen, taking a warm bath. I actually didn't know about this one, but that actually makes sense. I think it will just cool you down generally. Regular physical exercise, so, and even just things like yoga, relaxation techniques, they just help you with your cramps, like just even lying down, kneeling down, kneeling on your stomach, if that makes sense, and lying down, kneeling and lying down, that just helps you deal with the pain. Then one that I heard, well, it works for some people and it didn't work for me though, but it does work for so many people, is drinking brown sugar and ginger. So now I started with brown sugar because brown sugar is actually the main ingredient, like a lot of brown sugar and then just ginger, and then not so much water, like probably a glass of water, 3 spoonsful of brown sugar and ginger. That works for some people, fam. So if you're one of those, and then if you know other practical home methods of dealing with painful cramps, just comment it in the section. And now the last, and probably especially for those who go through the secondary dysmenorrhea, yes, the last and the most effective, efficient, most the one I'll tell you that for sure though, this one is to talk to your doctor, fam. Talk to your doctor, especially, or talk to your doctor, yes, a gynecologist. Just take it somewhere, or because at the end of the day, you have women going through fertility and other complications that they didn't know how they would have prevented at earlier stages if they just notice these few things I'm going to say. So if you have painful periods, very, very extremely, strangely incapacitating painful periods, up to 3 times. Up to 3 times, guys, that's already a call for concern. Imagine. So some of us will be having it for almost 2 years. Like, doctor, where are you? 2 years. If you have it like 3 times already, you should, pay attention to it. If you experience like that during your period, I didn't also get this point, but yeah, it's something to tell your doctors about. And then very severe diarrhea and nausea. Now let me also give you an example with me. When I just see that blood, or when I start feeling the pain, I make sure I take a pill before I go to the bathroom, because once I come out of the loo, wow, if I've not taken anything, I cannot do anything. I'll literally collapse. Okay, like your girl will just go flat there, that's it, on the floor. So I think that's like an example of the kind of things that should make you go to the doctor when you experience. Now you see, if you take If you're under implants, IUD, contraceptive, I hear that thing it works on your hormones in a way that you don't feel periodic pain, you don't feel menstrual cramp. So if you still feel menstrual cramp when you are using an IUD, then you should actually go to the hospital, because that is not normal. If you have like severe fevers, I actually have fever. I'm one of those people who I feel like this video is like for me. It's like for me, I'm just sharing my information with you guys. Yes. So if you have severe fever, severe pelvic pain, uh that should be it for this video. I'm so sorry if I appeared like I am everywhere. It's because the words were too much for me. So I kept on looking, to learn, and then sometimes I cannot read certain things that I wrote, the irony. But the most important thing is I feel like it's necessary to even start this. The thing is, I'm very aware that many people don't even know these things, and you know that there are people around you that do know. So do share this video, share it to like all the girls in your contact list. Okay, let them know these things, man. Like, you don't know the life you receive. Even me, standing right here, I feel like I'm a lifesaver already. Yes, guys. So that was it. It was scary making this video for you, because like we go through many things. I'm not going to say like I enjoyed making the video. No. But yes, and I well, that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. So yes, thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, stay tuned and wait for next week. Peace out.